Let me just ask the panelists one closing question. You are here, right? Blockchain prime time, being ready for prime time is somewhere here. What would you guess, what's your sort of seat of the pants reaction to how close we are to the point where blockchain technologies will be ready for prime time? Is this, is this way, way off in the future? Is this tomorrow? Where between those two things do you think we are in relation to that?
I would say in terms of timelines. So we need to look at it per use case, and then within the use case, what's the minimum quorum of participants to get traction within that area. So I would say we were looking at several years for the major, for example, the securities settlements, for example, to be rolled out across a sufficient quorum of participants. There are other use cases, though, where we should be motivated and inspired to move faster. So what we'd like to do is to throw out to, whether it's the startups, the industry in general, the opportunity to come up with automated solutions to help individual segregation, where you've got a plethora of sub-accounts, and effectively a shared ledgering solution would help there. And I think that doesn't need the full complexity of smart contracts. That could maybe come later. So I'd say some things in the short term, 18 months, larger things involving incumbents looking at several years.
So I think the parallel progression of both the industry doing experiments, successes and failures, and learning from those failures, but the technology vendors pursuing those different experiments with the industry, with the capital being invested into them, and with outside the financial industry, I think is going to put us into a different place a year from now, and we're going to see what's real and what are good foundational building blocks that we can move forward with.
So I think this year is a year where we all get down and do some real work. I think that there are some easy wins, things like maybe static reference data that we could have a solution in a year or 15 months. I think my timelines are similar to Lee's. I think 3 to 5 years we'll have some measured success that we can point to. 5 to 10 years is kind of the sweet spots.
I think a safe step is to just develop things for internal use as well and make them work in your own firm. Because otherwise the risk you face is that you will be automated cross firms and you will have a straight to the printer concept whereby when it goes into within the institution, it's all fancy smart contract, but it's not integrated into the legacy system that you've been running for the last 25 years. So I think there is a mandatory step in parallel with all this is to use the distributed ledger technology internally as well for the processes you want to use for externally. Otherwise, there will be a break and that will not, the business case will not materialize.
Wonderful. So I translate David's comment as the sweet spot is 2021 to 2026.